All right, welcome back. Hope you did actually take a little bit of a break because, like I said, breaks are incredibly important. But let's keep writing these tests. Because remember, if we run forge coverage right now, we're going to get an output like this, and this isn't very good. We should definitely try to get this up higher. So let's keep going. What's next? If we pull back up the raffle contract, we've written a lot of tests for enter raffle. We should probably write some tests for check upkeep to make sure that our check upkeep is working correctly. So do a whole bunch of these backslashes, check upkeep like this, make it look nice there. All right, so what's the first thing we should check for? It should return false if this doesn't have a balance. It should return false if this isn't open. If enough time hasn't passed. There's a whole bunch of stuff we should test for. So let's go ahead. Function test check upkeep turn false if it has no balance. So we're going to make everything else true. Just the fact that it has a balance be false. So we're going to have to make enough time has passed by doing v.warp again, block.timestamp plus interval, and then +1, vm.roll, block.number +1. So now we'll do, and this will be arrange, now we're on act. This will be bool upkeep needed equals raffle.check upkeep. We'll pass some blank data in, and now we'll assert. We'll assert bang upkeep needed. Bang again stands for not. This is saying assert upkeep needed is false. So if you negate false, you get true. So assert not false. Assert not false, which is true. Forge test -m, paste that in. Ta-da, passes. All right, great. What else? It should return false if the raffle isn't open. Function test check upkeep return false if raffle not open. Let's do the arrange. So in order to make the raffle not open, we have to, of course, enter the raffle and kick off a perform upkeep, right? It needs to be in the calculating mode. So we're going to do a vm.prank player, pretend to be the player, raffle.enter raffle, value of the entrance fee, like that. And now we're going to do vm.warp, block.timestamp plus interval +1, vm.roll, block.number +1, raffle.perform upkeep, like that. So we're just getting this, we're calling perform upkeep because this is going to set it into the calculating state. So check upkeep should return false if we're in the calculating state. So now we should be in the calculating state. So now we can run into act. We can say bool upkeep needed equals raffle.check upkeep. Thanks, Copilot. And then we can just say assert upkeep needed equals false. Or we could do assert not upkeep needed. Either one of these work. I just wanted to show you both. This is the assert. Copy this, pull up the test, forge test -m, paste. And that works. Perfect. So we'll clear this and keep going. We got more tests to do. And to give us a really good idea of exactly what we need to do, we can do forge coverage --report. We can do forge coverage --report debug. And what this will do is it'll actually give us a file that tells us exactly, and what this will do is it'll give us an output that tells us exactly what lines we haven't covered. So what I like to do is I like to hit up a couple times, forge debug -report, pipe it into coverage.txt, or output it into a file called coverage.txt with this little caret thing. And now if we look in our files, we should have a coverage.txt file, which looks awful at the top, which is fine. We just can delete all this stuff here. But you'll see this, analyzing contracts, running tests, and it'll tell you exactly which lines of code are not covered for each section. So deploy raffle.s.sol, all of these lines aren't covered. We mainly care about raffle.sol, so let's scroll down to raffle.sol, and we can see we have all these things, we have all these lines we haven't covered. So for example, branch 2, path 0, location source ID 27, line 126 in raffle.sol. So we'd go to raffle.sol, go to line 126. If not upkeep, revert. So we're not checking on perform upkeep. If not upkeep, we're not checking that this revert is reverting correctly, right? So that's something we'd want to check. So branch 2 past 1, we're not checking. So we're not checking if this is false. We're also not checking if this is true. We don't have any perform upkeep tests, and it knows that. Go to line 127, same thing. We're not testing these variables in here. Not doing any tests there. Function fulfill random words, line 145. Yep, sure. We're pretty much we don't have any tests that test this. So, and if we look, check upkeep is 113, 114, 115, etc. Technically, we don't see any of those in here because we did write test for check upkeep, but we still didn't really test enough, right? We should still be testing test check upkeep returns false if enough time hasn't passed. We're not testing for that. We should write a test for that. Test check upkeep returns true when parameters are good. We're not testing check up equals true. So I'm going to challenge you to write these two tests and then compare them to my tests. Again, you can find my tests in the GitHub repo associated with this course. So go ahead, try writing these two tests yourself.